All right, well, hello and welcome to Speakers Club. And I'm excited to get started today because this is kind of our jump off the cliff. What is Speaker Club? Introduction to what we're going to be starting to do starting in March. So if you're watching this recording later in April or May, every week is the same structure. And so what we're going to do this morning is we're going to be talking about kind of the outline of what Speaker Club is all about. And then we're going to launch into a couple things of a welcome this morning. So, first of all, our Speaker Club is from 12 Pacific Standard Time to 1. If you're joining us on Eastern Standard Time, it's exactly the same time every Thursday from 12 to 1. And we join via Zoom link. So sometimes I will be located in Seattle and sometimes I will not. So um, and what we want to do today is we're going to go through what an outline of a speaker club looks like. All right. So what I want to do first off is I'm going to show a video by John Maxwell, and we will let me see. We'll get started on this. And just tell me, ladies, if it's well, just a second. Sharing sound. I'm going to share that. And tell me if you can see John.
I never felt that I became a real good communicator until I had spoken at least probably around 5,000 times. I thought I'm starting to get it now. And so when you look at me and you watch me communicate, you say, oh my God, how does he do this? Here's what I wish. I wish all of you could have been with me when I preached my first message. Here's why. In fact, the thing I don't like about my life now is I've been doing this for a long time and I'm pretty good. And so now people watch me and they think, oh my gosh, it's so easy, and look how he does this, and he's so wonderful, and he's amazing, and they do all this stuff that's not true at all about me. If you would have seen me the first time speak, every one of you would be greatly encouraged. And the thing that I regret more than anything else in my life is I don't have any videos of anything when I was young. Back then it was black and white and wasn't that good. In fact, I remember taking my kids and sitting them down one day and said, you know, I want to show you a film of me when I played basketball in high school. And so I put it on and my son said, there's no sound. My daughter, Eli, said, it's in black and white. And in 3 minutes, they left the room. And I wanted to say, oh, kids, I was good. I was good. I wish I had some silent black and white film, because you would be greatly encouraged. Here's what I know. Most of you in this room, the first time you speak will do better than I did. And I think the sad thing about seeing a person that's where I am now is you see me where I am now, and you didn't get to see how bad I was in the beginning. Does that make sense to you? So my first book is still out. It's called Think on These Things. It's still in print. I still ask the publisher every once in a while, why is this still in print? 33 chapters, 100 pages. Yeah, you heard right. You're right now looking at me. Did he say 33 chapters in 100 pages? That's what he said. My average chapter was 3 pages long. In fact, a lady the other day, Kelly, lady came up to me the other day, and she had it. And she said, I want you to sign this book. I said, that's my first book. She said, I know, I love this book. I said, you do? Oh, she said, I love this book. I said, well, what do you love about it? Oh, she said, the short chapters. She said, I love this book, the short chapters. She said, and then she looked at me, she said, can I ask you a question? Oh, sure, lady. She said, how in the first book did you get so strategic in writing such short chapters? I said, lady, it was my first book. In other words, some of those chapters are 2 pages too long. I wrote like 3 pages and I ran out of gas. I didn't have anything else to say. And I mean, it took me a year to write the book. A year. There's 365 days in a year. 100 pages. It took me a year. For the 100 pages that got in the book, I threw 1,000 pages away. And I should have thrown another 100 away. It took me a year. Think about it. Every 3 days, I wrote a page. That's the book. You have that. Let me bring this up here. Come here. Oh, no. You got the book. Come up here. She's got the book. She's got the book. I can't believe this. She's got the book. Huh?
It's not that one, but it was the first one I read. Look how tattered and torn it is. With all your grading material.
Oh, this isn't my first one, but this is my 4th one. The Winning Attitude. It's got...
How many pages are falling out?
My gosh. Look at you.
Those are not very big pages.
Look at this. This is my... Yeah, look at me. Oh, my gosh. Look at me. Kathy, you've read it too, haven't you? Look at this. My gosh, you've got it all marked up.
The pages are falling out.
The pages are falling out. To Kathy. Why did you read this book? Your friend, John.
Thank you, Kathy. Hey, really glad. Welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you.
My gosh. I wrote that book. I wrote that book back in 1980. Oh, no. Yeah, about 82. About 82, 83. Now, what I'm saying is the book. I love it because we get coaches all the time writing their first books, and they're all excited. I want you to be excited about. I was very excited about writing my first book. Just wasn't any good, and it's okay. Because now when people see what I've written and what I do, and they're amazed, and I'm saying the only amazing thing is how long it took. That's the only amazing thing. Wasn't that amazing, lady? And I share with them right up front. I said, I want you to understand something. You start off slow. You don't start off big. You don't start off good. But you got to start off. And that's why you start. I mean, when you started walking, you didn't get up one day and say, let's walk a mile. You took a step and fell down, took a step and fell down. When you started talking, you didn't talk in paragraphs or sentences. Duh. No one even understands you. They say, oh, I think he said something. The grandparents are the only one that can tell you what you said. And I just want you to know, I give you permission to fail, and I give you permission to mess up, and I give you permission to start slow. And if you do start slow, just remember this: when you speak your first time and it's not good, you say, well, at least I didn't do it for 55 minutes. You follow? And when you write your first book and it's more than 3 pages, it gets to be 4 pages in your chapter, you say, I'm 1 page better than John was when he started. Because what you're going to find is, you're going to find that we love you and we value you, but we're going to be very honest with you and real with you, and we're going to help you. But the main thing we're going to help you understand is that everything worthwhile is uphill. And I congratulate you on your uphill dreams. But remember this, the dream is free, but the journey isn't.
So one of the things that we're going to do in the Speakers Club is that every time we watch a video by John, I want you guys to take notes and like say what you saw in it. Now, I should have told you that before. I could have seen. I don't know if one of you guys got anything from that video. You feel free to share. But I'm going to share a couple things that he did that we're going to be working on in the Speaker Club. First thing was, if you noticed, he talked for about, I don't know how long that video was, like 8 minutes. It was all about one thing, right? And what he did was he emphasized whenever you do something, you're not going to do it well the first time. And that was his whole, for 8 minutes, that's what he talked about, right? And if you watch his facial expressions, so one week we're going to talk about facial expressions. One week we're going to talk about your timing, how quickly you talk and how slow you talk. And if you watch him, he will pause and have you think about it. And then he'll talk quickly and then he'll talk slowly. And it's all about the emphasis. And the two things that I just want you guys to recognize is that speaking is not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's uphill. But if you work on it, and the reason why we're doing it every week is because it takes a lot to learn how to do it. And I'm just going to give you an honest thing about myself right now is that I'm working on my keynote talk. And I'm working with Roddy on it. And he sent me a note this morning. So anyway, I videotape a 3-minute story. And he sent me a note this morning. He goes, I don't like your story. It's like you're not making your point. And so that is one thing, is that we're going to be kind and nice, but we also be honest, okay? And try to help you to get to the other side, which is what, Roddy and John always try to do with us on the team. So, okay, I'm going to pause for a second. Becky, Nanette, do you guys have anything to say? Go, Becky. You're unmuted.
I don't know if I have anything to say. I mean, that was good. I feel like I've heard that story before about his book. I thought that was funny. But it actually reminded me of a post that my friend just, when he talked about the dream is free, but the journey isn't. I thought that was really good, and that you have to start even if you're bad. And my friend just posted this, and she put, your first workout will be bad. Your first podcast will be bad. Your first speech will be bad. Your first video will be bad. Your first anything will be bad. But you can't make your 100th without making your first. So put your ego aside and start. So
yeah. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. That's really good, because I think when we're talking about speaking, and the reason why it's so important when we're talking about it is because what we do is we're fearful of it, right? There's this element of fear, and so that's why most people don't do it, right? I'm terrible at speaking. Okay, so how are you gonna get better, right? You got to practice. You got to do it. So thanks, Becky. Nanette.
What I've always loved about John, and he showed it so well, is his humor and how he's able to bring his own life experiences where he was not his best, and allow us to laugh with him, and also about you're not good at the beginning, and practicing it and finding places to practice where it feels safe to do so in a good environment, which is what it sounds like you're setting this up to be. So that's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really excited about it because I feel like it's something that we all stress about and struggle with. For those of us who have to talk in front of, whether, like I said, 5 people, 50 people, 500 people, right? Even 5 people could make you kind of stress out. I was at a BNI meeting yesterday. I'm not a part of BNI, but I gone there as a substitute. And so if you've ever been to a BNI, you're supposed to stand up and say what you do and who's the customer that you're looking for. So I get up, right? And like I speak all the time. So why would there's 50 people, you're sitting at you're sitting at a table. All you gotta do is stand up, say what you do, and say what customer you're looking for. I got up and I went, blah, 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 right? I just stumbled over my words. I was like, well, I'm all self-conscious. I'm thinking, man, nobody'd ever hire me to speak here because I can't even say 3 sentences, right? So it is hard. And I think it's good that we acknowledge that from the get-go. And so making this enjoyable. So let me tell you a little bit about kind of how it's going to be structured. So what we're going to be doing is at the beginning at noon is kind of like that opening, and everybody kind of comes together. And then we're going to, as long as the group is smaller, we're going to stay in the open room, and everybody just gets 30 seconds to kind of say what's kind of going on in their life right then. And then once we get bigger, then we'll go into breakout groups. Okay. So that's the kind of the cool part about Zoom, is that we can have 5 to 10 people in one space, and then we can break out. Then we're going to go into speak different types of speeches. Okay. So the first one, we're going to do 3 every week. Okay. So everybody's going to be assigned one the week before. And so you're going to do a 2-minute talk, a 3-minute talk, and a 4-minute talk. Okay. And here's the catch, is that for each one of the talks, you're going to have a timer. We're going to have a timer. So it'll probably be Marla or me. And we're going to have, like a yellow, I'm going to get like a yellow Post-it note or something. And so when you're talking, and let's just say you have the 2-minute one, when you get to 1 minute and 50 seconds, we'll probably hold up the yellow Post-it. And then if you get to 2 minutes, we'll hold up like the red Post-it, but then you have to stop. Okay. So it's like, you have to stay in your time. All right. And if you don't stop, we will stop you, if that makes sense. Okay. Because that's part of learning how to talk, right? Is so that you're not going on and on and on and on. All right. And so there'll be like I said, the 2-minute, the 3-minute, and the 4-minute. And what we're going to do is that when you're done, we're going to do like a quick, everybody say one thing about what you said, and we're encouraging positive things right at first. Okay. And then later we'll give you some constructive feedback. Okay. And then once those are done, then we will have the teaching from John, and every teaching from John will have some kind of feedback. And we'll discuss it. So again, if it's just 5 people in the room, we'll all stay in the room. If we have more, then we're going to put everybody in a breakout group. Okay. And so that you have a chance to talk. And so then you'll get 5 minutes to discuss it at your table. What did John say that was really important? And like I said, it'll be a different topic every week. And then we will have Roddy share. And then after Roddy's done, then I'm going to share something. And then we will finish with our constructive feedback. We'll pick the next week's speakers. And here's the deal, is that every week there's going to be a different topic, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to encourage you to use that quote unquote topic in the next week's speech, although you don't have to. Okay. So one week, like for instance, we're going to talk about pausing. So if the people who are speaking the next week get the chance to be able to pause, it would be great. And right at first, if we only have 3 or 4 people, then you're going to get the chance to speak you're going to get a chance to do your speech every week. Now, here's the catch, is that even for the people who are doing the 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute, they're going to have to prep ahead of time, right? And then they'll talk. But we also are going to have it's called a table blitz. And every person's going to have to, that's in the room, well, we're going to divide people into groups once we get past 5. And every person's going to have to talk and speak. Okay. Does that make sense? For a 30-second, it might be 45-second every single week. Does that make sense? Are you guys following me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I give you this whole list. I'm like, okay, great. So that's kind of how the structure of each week is going to go. And then, like I said, at the conclusion, we will we'll assign the next week's speakers, and then we'll close. And every week you're going to get a PDF. Okay. So we will be emailing that to you. And that's going to be just like a kind of an overview of what we talked about, as well as some more helpful instructions from Roddy and John. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions?
So when you tell us what the topic is for the week after, do you tell if it's a 2, 3, or 4 minute, or we choose?
Well, I'll probably right at first I'll let you choose, but then after
Okay.
that, first couple weeks. Because
Okay.
it's we'll probably give you guys the shorter ones, and like Marla and I'll do the longer ones because it is a little harder sometimes.
Okay. And is this with or without note cards? You want us to have, are we allowed to have note cards?
First, I'll let you have note cards. Then we'll
Okay.
decide when we're not going to. Because
Okay.
here's what probably the biggest thing that I would do if I was you is I would probably start with an idea, like a story that you have. And the first week I'd do a 2-minute talk on it and then try to improve it. And then, go to 3 minutes or whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
And you can do a variety of different things. If you have a talk that you're going to need to do for work, you can use that. It does not have to be something that you make up every single week. You can just get better at it too. One of the things that we're going to work on, and this is one of the Toastmaster things that I really like, is that when we're going to be timing you, but we also are going to be listening for filler words like, okay, any of the filler words that we use to make ourselves feel more comfortable. So for each person, sometimes for people, it's a different word, but we'll be listening to that for that. And then also we're going to suggest that you stand up when you talk. Okay. It's a lot easier and a lot better because chances are you're going to be talking while you're standing. Does that make sense? So you can sit down through all of Speaker Club, but when you talk, just, find a place for your computer to go up a little higher and then just talk at it. And then it'll be easier. Is everybody good with that? Okay. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Are they going to be recorded?
I'm trying to decide that. I think they probably will be for a very short time because if somebody misses, I don't want you to miss out. And especially since you guys are paying for it, it's like if something comes up and you can't be there, at least you can watch it. You can see all the videos. You'll get the handout. I mean, it's like, you paid for it. I want to make sure you get it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But my computer might not let me do it like forever. So you can't go back, in June, go, hey, can I have that March 3rd one? Like, I don't know. So if I send it to you, keep it. All right. What else? I think that was it. I mean, as far as like I will have a handout on ways that you can grow and, like things that you need to think about when you're talking. Okay. So I'm going to send you guys a PDF on that too. So, and we'll probably keep expanding on that if that makes sense. Cause, there are things that we're going to learn as we go, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be it'll be challenging. I love challenges. So